Well, good morning, friends. I hope everybody's morning is off to a great start. Mine was. I actually got up early, got gas, which cost me way more money than it should have because gas prices are jacked up. Got my daughter off to school on time. My Dunkin' was perfect. Anyways, on my way to school, like I was going to school, on my way to drop my daughter off to school today, a song came on the radio, and it was Coldplay, and it was a song called My Universe. And then I heard a familiar voice singing, and it like almost brought me to tears, quite honestly. And it was V from BTS. And when I Shazammed it, I saw that it was a collaboration. And so for anybody who doesn't follow K-pop, you're missing out for one thing. I'm a huge fan. I got into it, I don't know, probably like 6 or 7 years ago because my daughter was really into it. We used to watch Mnet every freaking morning, so we had to watch, you know, the Korean little soap operas, and we got to see all the videos. It was like Korean MTV kind of. And you know, BTS was her favorite group. I mean, she liked other groups too, but BTS was her favorite group, and I really love their music. I just love their music. And in addition to just like loving their music, you know, when we would watch, you know, certain videos, or we would watch the Mnet channel, you got to see like behind the scenes stuff, and you got to hear interviews with them. And you know, for anybody who doesn't anyways, my point was like when My Universe came on the radio and I heard the boys singing with them, I call them the boys, I became very overwhelmed with emotions, and I don't know why. First, I think like Coldplay is fucking iconic, and they've been around forever, and the fact that they collaborated with BTS is just awesome. And at first I was like, well, this is kind of like a strange collaboration, and then I decided, you know, I really liked how their sounds intertwined together, and I was like, I want to watch the video. So I went and I watched the video, and it was just like, it was pretty meaningful, although some people are probably going to watch it and be like, yeah, that's cool, it's like space and blah blah blah, but like, you know, it made me emotional for a couple reasons. First, because, you know, like I mentioned, like Coldplay's like super iconic, and you know, it's just like watching, like when you're younger, watching your favorite band, and then they kind of like grow up with you, and we all kind of age together. And then thinking about BTS and where they've come from, you know, young guys, K-pop, you know, K-pop industry is huge. You know, they recruit a lot of young talent, and usually the band members in most K-pop groups are like in a dormitory. It's almost like university in a way, but they're studying to be recording artists or dancers, and they work extremely hard. So just watching the collaboration between like an old school, like super like, you know, iconic group that I grew up with, and then watching a group that my daughter really enjoyed, kind of seeing them fused together was beautiful. And then it got me thinking, because, you know, these guys, you know, so if you haven't heard of them, you probably did in the last like 2 to 3 years if you hadn't heard of BTS. And the reason why that is they started doing big collaborations with American artists. I think they first started with the Steve Aoki, who produced some music with them, and then they started doing music with like Nicki Minaj, and I think they did Doja Cat. I'm not really sure if they did music with her, but then they started collaborating with mainstream American artists, and they got very popular, which is great to see. Now, typically, I'm the kind of person, my daughter felt this way. She's like, oh, I don't really like BTS anymore because like now everybody likes them, right? And she and I are very similar, where if something gets too hyped, or, you know, first you feel like you're part of something really super special that not a lot of people, it's like, you know, that hidden gem. And then all of a sudden everybody knows about the hidden gem, and it becomes less special. But it's different for BTS for me. And I just can't help but feel overwhelmingly happy for them, because, you know, Korean boys have to, by law, join the Korean military. Between, I forget the ages, I think it's anywhere between the age 18 and like 28 or something like that. They have to go into the military, or go into the Korean army. And it's very sad, because that's what happens to a lot of these K-pop groups, you know, like they go to the dormitories, and then they learn all of this, you know, music and art and dance, and then before you know it, they have to split up and they go into the military, and sometimes you don't really hear from them, you know, the bands again. So they're usually like a flash in the pan. That's why there's so many K-pop groups, right? And, you know, I just think about where BTS came from, and I've been following them, like I said, for like 6 or so years, and like just realizing like this year is going to be their last year that they can all kind of perform and be part of something together, because they have to. They are not exempt from the military. And so if you've ever seen them in awards, you have to really see their true appreciation, like that it's making me emotional thinking about it, but like they are so appreciative of the love that they get, because it's almost buying them time from having to join that military. So when they win an award, when they get to collaborate with a huge American artist, it's literally life-changing for them. And it allows them to spend more time as a band and kind of avoiding having to be part of the military. And it's just something very, very special. So, you know, it got me thinking about how much we take for granted here in the United States, that not everybody has to go into the military. Like, you're allowed to if you want, you don't have to if you don't want to. And they don't have that option in South Korea. And it just made me very, very sad for them. You know, but happy that they are able to collaborate with large artists, keeping themselves as relevant as possible and avoiding the inevitable. And it got me very emotional the minute I heard V's voice. And I don't know, this is something maybe a little weird, but when V sings, I feel his extreme emotion, and I don't know how to explain it, but I heard sadness. I heard such sadness that it really struck a chord in me. And here I am making this video, because I just feel like, knowing where they've come from and what's ahead of them, something that is unavoidable and they cannot control. So, you know, right now these guys are just appreciating every single moment that they have, that they can be free. So I just wanted to put that out there. It was something that was really, I don't know, I was really in the feels when I heard this song for whatever reason. I mean, they've had a ton of songs. Everyone's like, and they're usually very poppy and happy, and this one is too. But watching the video and watching their collaboration with Coldplay, it was different. It was different on an emotional level for me. I can't explain it, but I just felt like I had to put it out there. So there's a different side of Sarah Jones. So I'm a K-pop lover. I hope you go on to have a really, really, really great day. And I hope you find appreciation in the little things.